Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in and welcome to another fidget video. So today I've got the Pavilion Generation 2 by Unquiet Hands. These are my first Unquiet Hands spinners and I haven't had them for too long, so I wanted to just do like a first impressions video, not like a super in-depth review, but yeah, let's dive into it. So these were available for pre-order a little while ago, and I decided to get the stainless steel and the titanium. There was also a Zerk available, but for budget reasons I just decided to get these two. Also because I was planning to swap their buttons, so using the stainless steel buttons on the tie and vice versa, which yeah, did end up being the best setup for me. But I do have them with their original buttons right now, just for like doing the specs and weights and stuff. Yeah, so these are like an evolution of a previous spinner by Unquiet Hands, the original Pavilion. I'll put a picture up. I did not try those. In fact, these are the first Unquiet Hands spinners that I ever had. Yeah, I really like them. But first off, let's get the specs out of the way. So size-wise they'll be the same, so I'll just be measuring one of them. They have this really unique shape of being like short, but very wide and rounded. And from the side profile, it's really flat. So let's see. The length comes in at 46 millimeters by 29 millimeters, and the thickness, let's see, for the spinner body it's 9 millimeters, and for the buttons it's a little bit over 12 millimeters. So that's the dimensions. And let's check. So this is the stainless steel, which weighs about 80 grams, and the titanium weighs 45 grams. Let's give a spin. And the titanium. So I'm just gonna swap out the buttons now, because I want to review them in the setup that I used them in. So I've got the Manhattan bearing by Heck Farula in my titanium, and I'm using like a reptilian like bearing, which is like black ceramic balls and stainless steel cage in my stainless steel Pavilion. So I just like to have like I really think tie goes well with stainless steel and vice versa in general for spinners. So let's check the weight. So this is stainless steel buttons with a tie body, which comes in at 55 grams, and this is the tie buttons with stainless steel body, which comes in at around 70 grams. So personally, I did try running them just OG, but the tie, it was a bit too light for me, and the stainless steel, it was a bit too heavy for me. So yeah, my original plan of swapping their buttons works well for me. And these two, they're like visually, they're basically indistinguishable. The tie maybe has a bit more of like a, I think the stainless steel is a little bit shinier, and the tie seems to have a bit of a more yellowish reflection. But apart from that, they look pretty much the same. Let's give it some spins. And the stainless steel with tie buttons. So where to start? I haven't had these long, but already I have quite a lot to say about them. I have to say, at first I needed to kind of get used to them, because I've got a confession, which is that I'm kind of a chronic fidget spinner ripper. Like, I usually really rip them and spin them like as hard as I can, which is not good for finger health. And I think it could be part of the reason why I've like gotten out of spinners a little bit, because yeah, my fingers just have gotten fatigued from my spinning style. So yeah, so at first, like, that's how I tried to use these. But pretty quickly I noticed that, at least for my like hand size or finger length, the shape of it doesn't like rip well for me. Like I guess like I would rip it from the corner here, but it's a little bit too far away then, since it's like kind of, you see the distance, but it's kind of hard to rip from the sides here. But when I started to spin it more gently, I feel like that's where this spinner really shines. As that is one thing that I like the most about the spinner, is that the judder, it's, first of all, to describe the judder, it's like a very frequent judder, but still soft. But yeah, the judder, it's like it feels really nice to spin without ripping it. And I would even go further and say, like, really spinning, like giving it a big rip, it doesn't improve the spin as much as some other spinners it might. So these have kind of already started to like change how I approach spinning. Another thing is the shape, you know, this flat wideness. It feels a bit like you can see when I'm spinning it, it's like super stable. So it kind of has like a little bit of the gyro effect from like a tree spinner, and the stability of a tree spinner while being a bar spinner and having that bar spinner judder. So kind of the best of both worlds in that regard. And I'll try to capture that on the camera. I don't know how visible it is, but the machine lines, when it's spinning, they basically form these perfect circles around the button, which looks super nice visually. I don't know if the camera can pick up on that. And yeah, zero hotspots. It's like super round everywhere, and just all around really well, like perfectly well balanced. And it seems like the speed holes are basically like just machine finished, like they don't look post. Don't seem to be any post machine work done on it. So these are like super well made. It's got these machine lines up here on the sides, here, and these diagonal ones. And let me talk about this little indent right here. So before I got those, I was wondering what they are for, but now that I have them, it's like for the, I don't know what it's called when you're like not spinning this way, but spinning like a forward flick. You can see that when you're like stopping, this is kind of like a place that the finger can rest in, as well as, so when flicking you can kind of go along this indent. With the forward flick, it's the same as like this type of spinning, that its strength doesn't seem to be to like flick as hard as possible, but just like a very chill flick. It's a little bit easier with the titanium, of course, because it's lighter. About the buttons, I really like how they continue the flatness of the body. So the body is basically completely flat profile, and so are the buttons, which I guess there's like I'm not sure if I feel like a very tiny concave, a very tiny dish maybe, but maybe it could be just my imagination. But either like very slightly dished or basically flat. But I really like how that's going against the tendencies of buttons to have like, you know, dishes and of different proportions. And it's very rare to see like this kind of completely flat buttons. And it's still for me at least, the right size that my fingers can rest well on them, and the grip is, you know, I never feel like they might like fly out of my fingers. So between these two, honestly, I couldn't tell you if I had to choose one, which one I would get, especially since I swapped the buttons. I would say with the buttons swapped, I would probably pick the stainless steel. And with the OG buttons, I might pick the titanium. But if you would want my recommendation, I would actually maybe recommend the one that I don't have and haven't tried, but I imagine Zerk being kind of in between stainless steel and titanium by weight. I might imagine that Zerk could be, for me at least, the sweet spot weight-wise. But yeah, depending on budget, as I've just kind of stopped buying too many fidgets, going more for trades lately, as I'm just trying not to spend too much money on it. But I do like Zerk as a spinner material, but I'm not the biggest fan of like polished surfaces in any material. So maybe if there's some kind of matte Zerk or stonewash Zerk in the future, I might go for that. But yeah, so that's my first impressions of this spinner. Keep in mind it's still the honeymoon phase for me, but I do have a feeling that these will be both spinners that I'll be like using for a long time. All right, happy fidgeting.